In a small, humble village nestled between rolling hills and lush green fields, there lived a poor man named Kimwa. Known for his exceptional skills as a tailor, Kimwa possessed a unique gift for crafting garments that were not only beautiful but also comfortable and durable. His fine craftsmanship and meticulous attention to detail had earned him a reputation far beyond the village's limits. However, despite his undeniable talent, Kimwa struggled to attract customers. Each day, he would sit by his beloved sewing machine, a well-worn but reliable companion, patiently stitching together vibrant fabrics into exquisite clothing. The rhythmic hum of his needle was often accompanied by the soft, melancholic sigh of the wind brushing against the walls of his shop. Yet, the silence that enveloped his tiny establishment was deafening. The shop, modestly decorated with colorful bolts of fabric and a few completed garments hanging on the walls, was tucked away at the corner of the village square where foot traffic was scarce. The villagers, drawn to the convenience of the bustling market, often opted for cheaper, less intricate garments that lacked the artistry Kimwa poured into his creations. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Kimwa's dreams of becoming a renowned tailor began to feel like distant stars, beautiful but ultimately out of reach. Each day, he grew more disheartened, watching his hopes fade like the sun at dusk. His carefully crafted clothes hung on display, untouched and unsold, the vibrant colors becoming dulled by the dust that settled on them. "Why do I work so hard, yet no one notices me?" he would often ponder, his heart heavy with despair as he sat in the quiet of his shop. The fabric in front of him felt like a heavy weight, binding him to a reality he wished to escape. Yet, deep inside, the flicker of determination still lingered. One night, as Kimwa closed his shop and prepared for bed, he felt an unexpected stirring within. A tiny voice, gentle yet insistent, whispered in his heart, "Keep working. Keep going. You never know what the night might bring." The words resonated with him, igniting a spark of hope that had long been dimmed. With renewed resolve, Kimwa decided that he would not give up. He would continue to hone his craft, pouring his passion into every stitch, believing that one day, his artistry would find its way to the hearts of the villagers. That night, as Kimwa slept, something extraordinary happened in the quiet of his tailor shop. A small, clever spider, known throughout the land for her wisdom and resourcefulness, had been observing Kimwa for many days. She had watched him toil tirelessly, his hands expertly maneuvering fabric, yet his brow remained furrowed with frustration. "This man is good at his craft, yet he has nothing to show for it," the spider thought, feeling a pang of sympathy for the hardworking tailor. "I will help him, but only for a time." With purpose in her tiny heart, she set her mind to creating a gift that would change his fortunes. Under the cover of darkness, the spider stealthily crawled into Kimwa's shop, her delicate legs moving with precision. The moonlight illuminated her exquisite form as she set to work with unwavering determination. Using the finest threads she could find, she spun with remarkable speed and care, weaving an intricate design that seemed to dance with each flick of her tiny body. The fabric shimmered like moonlight, capturing the ethereal essence of beauty itself. As the hours passed, the spider poured her heart into the creation, and soon, a breathtaking dress began to take shape. It was a masterpiece, adorned with patterns that resembled the stars in the night sky, each stitch flawless and each detail meticulously crafted. When Kimwa awoke the next morning, the first rays of sunlight filtered into his shop, illuminating the stunning dress hanging gracefully on the chair in the middle of the room. Rubbing his eyes in disbelief, he approached the garment with awe. "Where did this come from?" he marveled, his heart racing with a mix of confusion and excitement. The dress was unlike anything he had ever seen, and a spark of hope ignited within him. Without hesitation, he decided to put the dress on display in the window, hoping that its beauty would attract customers. As if the universe conspired in his favor, the very moment he displayed it, a woman from the village, drawn by the dresser's enchanting allure, hurried into the shop. Her eyes widened with delight as she beheld the creation, then she swiftly purchased it without a second thought. Kimwa's heart swelled with joy and disbelief as he counted the money in his hand, feeling a warmth spread through him. It was more than he had ever earned in a single sale, a turning point that filled him with optimism for the future. Little did he know that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey, one that would teach him about the gifts of generosity, creativity, and the unseen forces that work in our favor when we least expect it. For the next week, something magical unfolded in Kimwa's humble shop. Each morning, as the first light of dawn filtered through the dusty windows, he would find a new, perfectly crafted dress draped over the back of his chair. The fabric shimmered with life, each garment a tapestry of vibrant colors that danced like flowers in a spring breeze. The first dress was a deep crimson, reminiscent of a sunset, with delicate embroidery of golden vines that twisted elegantly along the hem. The second was a sapphire blue, its sheer layers flowing like water, embellished with silver threads that sparkled like stars. Kimwa's heart swelled with gratitude and wonder as each subsequent dress revealed a new layer of artistry. The third dress was a lush emerald green, showcasing intricate lacework that seemed almost alive, while the fourth was a soft lavender adorned with tiny pearls that glimmered like dew on a morning leaf. The fifth dress was a rich burgundy, with flowing sleeves that cascaded like waterfalls, then the sixth was a bright canary yellow, its boldness capturing the essence of summer sunlight. The seventh and final dress was a delicate white, adorned with filigree of tiny silver webs that wove a story of enchantment and mystery. Word of Kimwa's dresses spread like wildfire, drawing villagers from near and far. They came with eager hearts and pockets filled with coins, hoping to adorn themselves in the breathtaking creations. Each dress transformed not just the wearer, but the very essence of the village, as laughter and joy echoed through the streets at every event. But amidst the success, a flicker of curiosity ignited within Kimwa. Who was behind this wondrous gift? Determined to uncover the mystery, he resolved to stay late one evening. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Kimwa settled into a corner, his heart racing with anticipation. Hours slipped by in silence, the only sound the gentle rustle of fabric. Just as the moon ascended the night sky casting a silvery glow, a tiny figure emerged from the shadows, a spider, delicate and unassuming. With a sense of wonder, Kimwa watched as she began to weave. Her legs danced gracefully, crafting the threads with precision and care, forming another exquisite dress that seemed to capture the very essence of night. So it is you, Kimwa whispered, eyes wide with realization. You've been helping me all along. The spider paused, her tiny eyes glinting with an understanding that transcended words. From that moment, a bond blossomed between them. Kimwa dedicated a warm corner of his shop for her, crafting a cozy nook lined with soft fabric scraps. He fed her bits of sweet fruit and crumbs of bread, honoring her artistry with every meal. In return, she continued to weave her magic, creating dresses that enchanted not just the village, but the very fabric of Kimwa's life. Together, they spun a tale of friendship, creativity, and the beauty of unexpected connections. Kimwa's life had transformed dramatically since the day he first discovered the spider's extraordinary talent. Gone were the days of humble beginnings, his shop was now a vibrant hub, bustling with customers from every corner of the region. Noblewomen in flowing silk approached his stall, their eyes wide with anticipation. They draped themselves in the exquisite dresses, each one a masterpiece of intricate patterns and vibrant colors, woven from the finest threads of silk and adorned with shimmering beads and delicate embroidery. The dresses were not just garments, they embodied dreams and aspirations. One particular dress, a sweeping gown of deep emerald green, was worn by Lady Amara during a summer gala that attracted the elite of the kingdom. As she glided across the marble floor, the gown swirled gracefully around her, catching the light and drawing gasps from the onlookers. The intricate spiderweb patterns woven into the fabric seemed to dance as she moved, and whispers filled the air about the mysterious spider who created such wonders. Another dress, a delicate lavender creation, was donned by the charming Sissy at the annual harvest festival. The fabric flowed like water, accentuating her every movement as she laughed and twirled among the vibrant stores of fruits and flowers. Children marveled at her, their eyes sparkling with delight, and the townsfolk praised Kimwa as the finest tailor in the land. Yet, as the praises grew, so did Kimwa's pride. The gratitude that once fueled his passion began to morph into an insatiable hunger for wealth and notoriety. As time passed, Kimwa found himself consumed by ambition. The shop that had once been a testament to hard work and humility became a display of his ego. His heart, once filled with thankfulness, now thudded with greed. It was during one fateful evening, amidst the lavish spreads and boisterous laughter of a grand feast thrown in his honor, that this greed reached its zenith. Surrounded by opulence, with golden goblets clinking and servants rushing to fulfill every whim, Kimwa felt invincible. His boasting echoed through the banquet hall like thunder. I will make 200 dresses for the grand celebration, he declared, the glint in his eyes betraying the darker intentions brewing within. I have the means, and I have the spider to help me, he continued, the name of his once beloved collaborator rolling off his tongue with a sense of ownership. In his pursuit of more, he caught the spider, the very creature who had gifted him with fame and fortune, and locked her in a small, dimly lit cage. You have given me so much, he said with a wicked smile that curled his lips, now you will work for me as long as I command. I want 200 dresses. The spider, despite her gentle nature, felt a pang of betrayal. She had woven dresses for Kimwa out of kindness, never for the sake of servitude. Reluctantly, the spider began to spin. Day after day, she toiled, her delicate legs dancing across the loom as she crafted gown after gown. The dresses emerged in a flurry of colors, crimson, sapphire, gold, but with each creation, her strength waned. The vivid hues that once filled her with joy began to dim, and the intricate patterns became harder to create. Each dress was a testament to her dwindling spirit, a reflection of the greed that shackled her. Kimwa, blinded by ambition, failed to notice the fatigue etched into the spider's tiny frame. He simply marveled at the pile of exquisite dresses, unflinchingly ignoring the toll it took on the once vibrant creature. The people clamored for the dresses, and Kimwa reveled in their admiration, the accolades feeding his insatiable hunger for recognition. But as the final threads were woven into the last dress, a heavy silence filled the air. The spider, though kind, was no fool. She understood the cost of her labor, and as she gazed at the dresses that adorned the shop, a wave of sadness washed over her. There, in the heart of Kimwa's success, she felt the weight of her sacrifice. And in that moment, one couldn't help but feel a pang of sorrow for the spider, a creature once celebrated for her artistry, now reduced to a mere tool for someone else's greed. The lavish dresses that brought joy to others bore the burden of her fading spirit, leaving a haunting reminder of the price of ambition unchecked. On the final day of the feast, the sun shone brightly over the village square, casting a warm glow on the vibrant array of colors that filled the marketplace. Kimwa stood proudly among the throngs of villagers, his heart swelling with pride as he showcased the 200 exquisite dresses crafted by the magical spider he had captured. Each dress was a masterpiece, shimmering with intricate patterns and delicate craftsmanship. The fabrics danced in the breeze, drawing the attention of passers-by, who marveled at the stunning creations that had become the talk of the town. Amidst the admiration, a figure emerged from the crowd, his rival, a fierce and ambitious woman from a neighboring village named Amina. Known for her sharp wit and fierce determination, Amina had always been a thorn in Kimwa's side. As she walked closer, her eyes widened in awe at the dresses before her. What a remarkable collection you have here, Kimwa, she said, her voice dripping with feigned admiration. But her gaze soon shifted to the small cage that held the spider. What is this? She asked, pointing at the tiny creature nestled in the corner. Why is it locked up? Kimwa, oblivious to the horror in her tone, beamed with pride. This is the spider that made all these dresses, he explained, his chest puffed out. I have captured it and forced it to work for me. I own it now, then it will make more. He chuckled, thinking of the fortune that awaited him. Amina's expression twisted with disgust as she stepped forward, her hand raised. You think you can profit from a creature's misery, she spat. In one swift motion, she brought her foot down, crushing the spider beneath her heel. The sound echoed like a death knell, and Kimwa froze. Time seemed to stand still as he stared at the spot where the spider had been, a cold dread creeping into his heart. He rushed to the ground, dropping to his knees, his fingers trembling as he searched for any sign of life. No. What have you done? He cried out, his voice breaking. Amina stood over him, her expression unreadable. As he wept bitterly, the reality of his greed sank in. The very thing that had brought him fame and fortune was gone, obliterated by his rival's ruthless hand. The dresses, once a symbol of his success, now felt like chains dragging him back into darkness. In the days that followed, as Kimwa sold the remaining dresses, he could feel the vibrant energy of his business fading. Without the spider's magic, the dresses began to lose their charm. Customers who had once flocked to his stall now turned away, drawn instead to other vendors who offered more than just fabric. They offered stories, artistry, and a connection to their craft. The once bustling marketplace felt eerily silent as Kimwa's sales dwindled, and soon he found himself alone in the shadows of his former glory. With each passing day, he sank deeper into despair. He had never learned to spin dresses like the spider had, relying solely on the creature's gift to elevate him from poverty. As he walked through the village, he saw familiar faces whispering and pointing, their gazes filled with pity and disdain. The laughter and admiration that had once surrounded him had been replaced by an uncomfortable silence. The fleeting fame that had catapulted him into the spotlight had slipped through his fingers like sand, leaving him empty and desolate. Kimwa returned to the dilapidated hut he had once called home, a place that now served as a painful reminder of his failed ambition. The walls, once adorned with vibrant fabrics, now stood bare, echoing his loneliness. With every rustle of the wind, he felt the weight of his choices pressing down on him. He had lost not just a magical creature but the very essence of what it meant to create with passion and respect. As he sat on the floor, tears streaming down his cheeks, Kimwa reflected on the lesson he had learned too late. Hard work, patience, and gratitude were the true keys to success. The spider had not only spun dresses, it had woven a tapestry of hope, creativity, and collaboration. In his quest for greed, he had severed that bond, and in doing so, he had sealed his own fate. Kimwa wept for the lost opportunity, the friendship he had discarded in favor of ambition, and the vibrant life he had once envisioned. As the sun set behind the mountains, casting long shadows in the dim light of his heart, he resolved to change. No longer would he be driven by greed, he would seek to create beauty from hard work, learning to appreciate the true art of craftsmanship, one stitch at a time.